Hello, I'm Sherry. Some might know me as Milky Bunny on Twitch. I am a Twitch variety streamer and a content creator, so I mainly make cozy, comfy content and sometimes a bit of creative works because I am a freelance artist. And today we'll be talking about how I grow my confidence as a streamer and also how I learn more about myself through the whole process. So let's get right in. So I'll be sharing a little bit more about myself. I am an introvert. I have low self-esteem, low confidence, and I just don't ever think that I am good enough. Last year, 2023, I decided to apply for SCAPE SRX program, and through that, I really step out of my comfort zone. I learned more on really getting out there, knowing what would put me in that situation of being an introvert. So talking about the topic of introvert, I shared in my sharing session before. I barely talk. I don't think I could even like speak to a camera back then. Mainly during the talk, I share more about myself on what I would do when I am very closed off during network events, what I would expect myself doing. So some stuff that I would do is when I get uncomfortable, I would tend to drink a lot of water. Like I would just keep topping up my water. So I'll just keep sipping on it. Like I'll just be holding on to it and I'll just be sipping throughout. And that's something I realized during network events. I tend to use my phone a lot, like to just keep myself busy so that I don't have to talk to people because I have a bit of social anxiety. Not so much to the point that I can't talk to people, but sometimes I don't know how to I don't have small talk and I don't know how to interact with some people. I think I didn't have the experience of talking to a lot of people. I don't have much confidence in that aspect. So throughout, I think I want to make a change through streaming, like midway through streaming. How can I improve myself, grow and top it off? And I feel like to grow as a streamer or content creator, this depends on person to person, but to me is I would like to improve on myself. And I think it will reflect through the streams. One thing is about how I express myself through a camera, through a screen, to reach out my audience. And I think one thing that I learned is that you get uncomfortable. It's fine to feel uncomfortable and acknowledge the effort after you try it. Like okay, you're aware about it and then you challenge the idea. Nowadays going to network events, meeting people even on stream, I'll try to give myself little goals. Example, going to a network event, I will try to approach maybe 5 people or 10 people. Like I'll slowly increase my little goals, little milestones. Try to achieve it during the event, whatever thing it is. So for me that pretty much worked because you give yourself that little pressure and push. You would find yourself trying to like work for it and it might not be the best outcome immediately. You would not get what you want immediately, but consistently, because you're aware, you're putting in the effort to slowly grow out of like that comfort zone that you're in. Like for me it's like using my phone, being on my phone consistently, and instead of that I tell myself like, I'm at like a network event, I'm gonna put my phone aside and like really like approach people, talk to people. Even if I'm not the most comfortable, maybe I choose who I'll talk to. At least I put in the effort to make a change. And I think that really helps to build your confidence over time because you push your limits, but not to the point that you get extremely uncomfortable. It's a bit uncomfortable, but it's still within your reach. So like consistently doing that, you are growing very slowly, but there is a process. If you didn't grow and do that baby steps, you're totally not growing and you're stagnant at the same point. So by doing so, you're challenging yourself every time. So before you know it, there's already like a huge growth because it's a cumulative long term over time. Last year, 2023, received an email from SCAPE, and I decided to take a leap in faith and thought like I could give it a shot. SRX program encourages you streamers to get out there, so they will be sending like us to TwitchCon to learn. It's like exchange program, and from there I learned a lot in terms of creating content with the brand and planning my schedule when I'm flying to Las Vegas, and also making contents like interviews, collabs. And like the biggest fear for me is always talking in a huge crowd, maybe not even huge crowd, like an audience more than 10 scenario where it's like a presentation or like those kind of talk. I tend to get very anxious and nervous. I think I do have a bit of stage fright. I'm just not confident in expressing myself in bigger groups and audience. Tend to find it very draining. Through the years it got better, but it's still not to the point that I'm confident enough to stand in front of a big audience and like talk. I took this opportunity and I just made the video. I got in, like, yay! Through the whole duration when I got in until the sharing session, there is always that pressure. I know it's something that if I manage to get it done, I would get out of my comfort zone. I'll be like really proud of myself. Just give it a shot. If I get in, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna nail it. We're gonna figure out like step by step. The interview session was something that I never like did on stream before. At TwitchCon, I tried to interview like 10 people, 10 streamers, ask them like a couple of simple questions, and then I give them a little goodie bag at the end of it. I was quite nervous at the start. Midway where we interviewed 5 people, I kind of got into the groove. We finished everything, turned out great. During Vegas trips that I have no solid plan, put myself out there, travel, go and explore. And I do enjoy exploration and adventures during streams. I managed to travel out alone. That really changed some of my ideas or mindset on like streaming and content creation, which I think was quite a breakthrough for me. The collab streams, quite stressful because I'm not used to collaborating with streamers. Maybe not that much. I did collab with streamers, but I find it very draining to keep up with their energy level. I can't maintain energy throughout. One thing about that is I think it's hard to work with other people or streamers, because in real life streaming, right, we gotta balance the energy level through like communicating through the streams. I think the main key thing through this whole collaboration streams and sharing session, what I learned is setting your boundaries to the other person you're collaborating or working with is very important, because after knowing how they are like, you could like balance it off. Like you'll know that okay, this person tend to get quiet. How do I, maybe you'll find yourself questioning, how do I like pull this person out of the zone? And I think that is very important. It's not easy. You got to have a lot of like self-awareness and awareness of your collaborator as well. It turned out really well, like way better than I expected, but there's always that fear in me. I'm always very fearful of like messing up, or like I do not like, it's a collaboration thing, so it's like a two-person thing. I do not want to mess up my part, but I think just take the leap of faith. Believe that you could do a lot more. My tip would be step out of your comfort zone. Be aware of your weakness and then challenge those weaknesses, so that acknowledge your efforts no matter how big or small. Always know that you tried to improve your weakness. You're figuring out, like it's a whole process. You would not know or see the results immediately. So with all of that tips that like constantly you're doing, and you find yourself with long-term growth. That's what I learned during the SCAPE program. And thank you, SCAPE, for sending us over to TwitchCon Vegas. It's a whole learning experience. I would not see myself traveling to TwitchCon anytime that soon without the program. So thank you. A big shout out and thank you to SCAPE and Twitch. Hi, thank you for watching to the end. I am Sherry, also known as Milky Bunny. If you are interested in watching more of my content, do consider subscribing. If you want to see more and want to let me know what you want to watch next, comment down below and drop me some thumbs up if you like the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.